That's a good idea.
Commit this to memory.
No, I didn't.
You hear me down there? Yeah. Okay. About Zoroastrian and what is happening in this part. Let's stand here. Let's see there. Right. We know Zoroastrian as the first religion, okay, in the world that they started. Zoroaster, the prophet, started to talk about just one god, which was Ahura Mazda, and it was like a invisible god. So Ahura Mazda has a sign. When we are in Yazd, we will go to see some places relates to this religion that I will explain more and more details that you should know about this religion. One thing, you hear me down there? Yeah. Okay. About Zoroastrian and what is happening in this part. Let's stand here. Let's see there. Right. We know Zoroastrian as the first religion, okay, in the world that they started. Zoroaster, the prophet, started to talk about just one god, which was Ahura Mazda, and it was like a invisible god. So Ahura Mazda has a sign. When we are in Yazd, we will go to see some places relates to this religion that I will explain more and more details that you should know about this religion. One thing that is interesting to know about Zoroastrian is they respect fire, water, the earth, and wind. Yeah, 4 elements. They respect it, and that's why for dead bodies that they believe it's not clean. Okay, so they had like sky burial. They were cleaning their bodies on the top of the hills, and after vultures, they will eat the flesh. They could use it was different again in different parts of the territory, and but anyway, like different places. But mostly it was like a hole in mountains that they were making that in order to put the stones in it. Okay, that we call it ostadan. The word for this in English, can't remember, but anyway, it's close to ostadan. The root is Farsi, Persian, because Ostakhan in Farsi means bone, so it means a place for bone. Yeah, sorry. And here we have this little pool that we know that the time of Sasani, I'm talking about 1,600 years ago. Here, this city was on the way of Royal Road. So that's how they found some, some evidence like this one, okay, that proves that the time of Sasani here was on the way of Royal Road. What we have here from that time, even from Persian Empire time, like 600 years before, over 2,000 years ago, there are 2 wells the other side of this mountain that they were using at the time of Achaemenians, the time of Persian Empire. And we know that the style of wells that they were making back in those days, over 2,000 years ago, it was the square shape, okay, not round ones. Making a well like square, it's much harder. And some of them, like for example, there is one in Persepolis. It's like 140 meters. It's very deep. And here also there are 2. And also there were some remains of, near that shrine that we're going to visit, there were remains of an old, like a building, okay, like a monument of a building from the ancient time, the same time. And here, we're sure that here was like a coffin, stone coffin. They were sometimes for people that they were from royal family, they were using stone coffins, okay, instead of those holes for bones, to put bones in it. They could put that body inside a stone coffin, and then the stone lid was on the top. We're sure that this was the same story, and we don't know why here. Maybe they were living around this area and she died here. Here are very famous for stone mines. All the mines were like marble, stone, marble, green and white marble, granite, like different types of stones that we have here, and they cut them from these mountains. They even export, especially to Arab countries. Yes, and not just like their tombs, but when we probably notice while we're driving and enter a city or like a town, village, something like that, you can see the photos, especially in the middle of boulevards or like the side of streets. Okay, and those are also martyrs. It shows martyrs that they were from that region. And about Iran-Iraq war, while we're driving again like toward Tehran, and we're gonna pass Ayatollah Khomeini's shrine and all these things, I will explain everything, okay, about that war. And yeah, back to the story of shrine over there. Please. So, yeah, this is actually, so our after Muhammad the Prophet, all our imams, okay, like for especially for Shiites that we believe in like 12 imams, okay, Ali, Hassan, Hussein, and then the rest like from the same family. Older, let's say, children, grandchildren, that they were, of course, like in different parts and areas. For those ones that they were living or like just kind of passing, some of them, they have different stories in Iran, okay? If they died in these areas, they bury their bodies also around like wherever they were living. So that's why we have shrines in different places. Shrine always has a tomb of a holy person from that family. A mosque is just a place for praying. Shrine, sometimes we use it for praying too, but also to come and say hello to, like, the person whose body is in there. This is the grandson of our 7th Imam, okay? So you gentlemen can get closer this side to see the tomb inside in the middle. And as you see on the top, and we will go on the other side, okay? That's for women, that side, and here is for men. And so as you see, you can see silver and gold, okay, for decoration, this place. And silver is a kind of antibacterial. Yeah? So because people touch this part a lot, sometimes they kiss it. So it's beside decoration, it's also a good idea to use silver.